Welcome back. Yo Gotti has just been captured for his involvement in the Young Dolph case. To find out what happened, watch this whole video, subscribe to the channel, and like. Especially if you a Young Dolph supporter, comment LLYD, long live Young Dolph. Put the Dolph emojis in the comment section. Make sure you share this video. So now we've been hearing about how the feds went and got Yo Gotti right after Govan had gave him up. The only reason that Govan got out was because he told on Big Jook and Yo Gotti. This is why we haven't seen Govan, Big Jook, and Yo Gotti in the same room at all. Like, they stopped hanging around each other, because you got to understand, these are like 50-year-old dudes, and so they already know they can't be in the same place at the same time when they're on Fed's investigation radar. And we already know Govan, he the type of person that takes the orders from Yo Gotti and goes and tells, and him and Big Jook actually try to figure out how they're gonna get the street dudes to handle the situation. Because the last time they tried to do this, Govan almost got busted and caught by the feds. And so this time he's lucky that they're able to give him the plea deal. But all the loyalty, the respect, whatever he had for Yo Gotti, it got removed, because he threw Yo Gotti under the bus, because he said he was just gonna basically tell the whole feds exactly how Yo Gotti sent the money and put it on Young Dolph's head to get him taken out because of the beef that they already had and everything. Plus, Yo Gotti was jealous, envious, and basically it was a lot of greed going on, and he wanted to have the same status that Young Dolph did. He wanted to be the king of Memphis, and the only way that he was going to get that was if Young Dolph got knocked off. So this is what Govan told the special investigators. He told them about how they had a whole meeting, and when he walked in the meeting, Yo Gotti and Big Jook was standing there like wondering how they're going to carry this whole thing out. They had the money on the table to send the hit. They specifically asked Govan to get the hitters together, to get the street guys together. They told him work closely with Black Youngster and get the getaway car. Everything alleged, but what you got to understand is that these dudes was actually like working together to try to take out Young Dolph, and everything came from the orders of Yo Gotti, basically, because if he hadn't said to do nothing, nobody would have did anything to Young Dolph. You know what I'm saying? And so this is an unfortunate situation that happened to Young Dolph. I want to send my condolences to the whole Young Dolph family, to the whole PRE camp. If you rockin' with Young Dolph, put LLYD in the comment section. Long live Young Dolph, and let me know where y'all from and who you rockin' with, man. Because at the end of the day, it's been 2 to 3 years since this Dolph situation occurred, and the feds, they hot on CMG's radar. They already got a lot of people from their camp that told them the incriminating information to take down Big Jook, Govan, and Yo Gotti. So once they spoke to Govan and Big Jook, they were basically setting it up to tell on Yo Gotti and to tell on Black Youngster. They was gonna dump this off to them. But then now that Yo Gotti's brother Big Jook got hit up, they already know that, okay, the dudes from Black Youngster's camp, and he just said he was about to crash out on Yo Gotti and everybody in Memphis after his brother got hit up. It was because they already knew that these dudes was about to break, and they can't take no more interrogations. They can't take no more being under investigation and nothing like that. The RICO Act is putting a lot of pressure on Black Youngster, moneybaggyo, Yo Gotti, Govan, and they all about to crack. They're about to tell exactly how Yo Gotti was the one who came up with the whole idea, and that they were just finessed into the situation. They were told to go talk to this person and that person, but they didn't know that it was all part of the whole setup, man. And so now that leads everybody back. What is the connection to the cookie shop? Because a lot of people believe that there is something that was happening in the back of that cookie shop that needs to be further examined. Because by the way they look at it, they said that the back hallway had damage, the bathroom and the manager's office where they kept the safe, they said that's where they sealed the cookies at. So how are they going to be sealing the cookies in the manager's office instead of doing it in the actual kitchen, where the safety and health protocols say that you have to do it in the kitchen? Why would they take the work into the office and lock the doors, and behind closed doors they're sealing the stuff in there? Because Young Dolph, he had the vacuum sealer in the office. And one thing you got to understand is this is Young Dolph's stash spot. He had hundreds of thousands of dollars that was supposed to be inside the Makita's cookie shop. This is why he was going to go there, do the music video, and take out the money in the safe and actually use it as prop money, because this is why they actually kept that back door to the manager's office open, the back door of the cookie shop, so that they could say somebody came in and robbed the place. And that's why they don't have the money to give back to Young Dolph that he let them borrow. This is what they did 2 weeks right before, like, the Dolph came into town. 2 weeks before that, they had the door open, and they had the video of the dudes that ran in with masks and gloves on and everything, all blacked out. And they jumped over the counter and took everything out the register. And they waited until that happened to get the real professional camera, like 4K security cameras and everything like that. Because they actually were making it seem like it was a string of robberies happening, so that when Young Dolph pulls up, they're gonna blame it on, oh, it must have been another random string of robberies from the people who've been targeting the cookie shop or anything like that. Why is it that the last time the people ran up in the cookie shop, they came at night? But then what made them want to come to the cookie shop in the morning? Who told them to actually slide to the cookie shop early in the morning like that, and coincidentally just in time for when Young Dolph was in there and his car parked there and everything like that? Most of the dudes that were doing all of those like things in Memphis where they were breaking into places, they're not gonna be up at 9 a.m., 8 a.m. or nothing like that. It's usually they'll wait until the times get dark. If you know anything about this type of stuff, people will wait until it's dark, then they'll make a move. Instead of waiting until the early morning, like at 9 a.m. when they're opening the shop. Nobody does that unless they drop the location saying Young Dolph was in the shop, or to tell them, to signal to them, yeah, Dolph we already took him down in here. Now you guys got to pull up to make it look like it was you that did it. And then Yo Gotti and his brother gonna give you guys 500K or whatever the amount was for them to play their part. The anonymous donation to the cookie shop for $350,000 that came to the GoFundMe, that was supposed to go to the Young Dolph family, but it never made it to them. The cookie shop people took that themselves. How do they know that the anonymous donation didn't come from the 500K that was on Young Dolph's head? Mia J already confirmed that somebody put money on Dolph's head, and so even Grove Hero confirmed that they put money on Dolph's head, and they put $40,000 on his head. And he said it. He came out on the live and said it was Big Jook, Grove Hero, which was Young Dolph's protege. He said Big Jook put the $40,000 on his head and the $500,000 that was on Dolph's head. This is why Big Jook got taken out. Not only that, because the fact that him and Govan were about to tell on Black Youngster, because they didn't want to actually pin it on Yo Gotti, because he was still going to help them fight the case and send the money to the lawyers and everything like that. And so one thing people got to understand is that it's all very close together. Like Govan, Big Jook, moneybaggyo, Black Youngster, Yo Gotti, everybody in the cookie shop, they all know each other. They all got each other's phone numbers. They could call each other at any time, and they got the text apps. They could tell them like Dolph is here and send it to the burner phone. Dolph is in town. Dolph came to count up his stash. This, and the third, man. And the fact that they already took Young Dolph keys, a lot of people think that they already did something to Dolph at the community center where he was supposed to have the turkey drive. And then they took him to the back of the cookie shop. And they're thinking it might have went down with the U-Haul or the Bentley truck or one of the others. But once they found the fingerprints inside the Bentley truck that matched up with the two-door that was actually found on Bradley Street where they towed it and everything like that, this is when the feds opened up the RICO, because they knew that Bentley truck, the only people that ever drove around in that was moneybaggyo, Yo Gotti, his brother, Govan, and Black Youngster in the back seat. and they have the footage from that day that they zoomed in and they see through the tinted windows. From one of the front tinted windows is not as dark as the back, because in Tennessee you have to go by the rules. And so when they looked through the front, they saw that it was somebody that looked like Moneybaggyo and Govon in the front seat with Yo Gotti, Black Youngster, and Big Jook in the back seat. And this is why they rode in front of the cookie shop right after Young Dolph got hit up, because they already knew that they were going to put him there, and they wanted to drive by to like make sure to confirm it, to see it happen for themselves, man. R.I.P. Young Dolph. He never deserved this. He was a role model in the community, and he was actually somebody that a lot of people were looking up to, because he was paying their bills, he was taking care of people's lunch money, back to school, everything like that. And so now when we sit back and see that this whole case is actually getting solved, because the investigators started to look into everybody surrounding Black Youngster. They knew that Black Youngster might have had some role in this, and now that he's quit CMG, now that he got released from CMG, then he might actually come forward and tell on Yo Gotti. All of these dudes at one point was clicked up, and they said, we'll never tell on each other, we'll never do this and do that. But when the feds is in that, it got you in the room, and they talk about these years and football numbers, 300 years, 150 years, and for all the RICO and everything like that, because they don't play around when it comes to RICO. They already told them, we have everything, all the evidence against you, and so you have no choice but to cooperate. This is what they told to Big Jook, Govon, and everybody. That's why they got the plea deals already. Now they're waiting to bring Yo Gotti and Black Youngster, and this is when they're about to go do the raids and capture him. They busted through Yo Gotti's front door. It was a wooden door. As soon as they hit it with the sledgehammer, it broke into pieces. They walked in, they threw the smoke grenade and everything like that. Yo Gotti's maid started running. Angela Simmons was crying. They ran up the stairs and everything like that. And they seen Yo Gotti was in the office. It was a window that was wide open with the curtains, like with the breeze. You could see the wind blowing the curtains to the outside. They looked out the window. They seen Yo Gotti. He was running like 30 feet away from the house. He jumped out. He was about to go up and climb a tree. They send a SWAT team to the back. They pull up in a tank. They cut Yo Gotti off. He tries to run the other way. They actually pull up the spike strips, and they pull a rope up tied between two trees and trip Yo Gotti. This is when his hat flew off and everything like that. When they confirmed that that was the guy they were looking for, they dogpiled up on top of him and instantly put the zip ties on him, because when the feds come and raid like this, they don't know how many people is going to be in there that needs to be constrained. So they bring the zip ties in case it's extra people that more than the handcuffs could hold. So once Yo Gotti went running into that yard, he tried to take off into the forest. And y'all know, if you know anything about Tennessee, you will know that it's a lot of woods, a lot of forests and canopies, a lot of trees. So if Yo Gotti would have made it to the forest, he might have had another Bentley or Angela Simmons' cousin or somebody waiting for him on the other side, so he could easily quick and dip off. You got to understand, when people are on the run, they already got a whole plan of, if the feds raid, I'm gonna jump out here and run to there, and there's gonna be a car waiting for him to make his getaway. Once he leaves the state, they out of their jurisdiction. They can't chase him across state lines. So that's where he was trying to go. Once they tripped him up, it was over with for him. They put a paper sack over his head and walked him into the paddy wagon, and the people there, the photographers, were taking a picture, and they removed his head off, they removed the bag off of his head, and they were like, oh, it's Yo Gotti. They captured Yo Gotti. And so they knew that this had something to do with the Dolph case, because the Dolph trial is right around the corner, and they're about to solve this whole entire thing. So make sure y'all stay tuned to see what happens next.